This is Vendy's very first time driving a van. Oh, Jesus. So it's finally time that I'm going to finish off the roof. I was kind of hoping that I would be able to get away without finishing the roof so I can keep that cedar smell. Because as soon as you put a sealer on it, you'll lose a lot of that really nice cedar aromatic smell. But we had an incident the other day, and I realized that dream kind of just went away, was when we were driving. We dropped a bottle of dishwashing liquid, landed on the floor, bounced up, and hit the roof. And we stained the roof with these little splatters of dishwashing liquid. As much as it hurts, I'm going to have to sand it back, put a finish on it, but it's still going to look amazing. It just won't smell as good. Bendy's first task on this whole van build is going to be to stain the roof. And we've got a clear water-based satin stain, and it's going to look really nice. I've made the cupboard door out of cedar so it lines up really nice, and this is kind of what it's going to look like. Same as these cupboards as well. So this is all cedar. Righto, first job, sand the roof.
So this is small world for the humankind, but big for the Vandy, because this is my first job on the van.
First coat of the roof is done, and it's looking much better. Really nice. So glad we decided to do it. We're not really losing all the smell because I'm not going to stain this bit under the cupboard. So at least a little bit of the smell will seep out through into the van. We sanded the roof with 400 grit sandpaper between every coat, and it came out super smooth. While we take a break from building and eat these delicious dumplings, I want to ask you to subscribe to really help this channel out. Only 20% of you awesome viewers are actually subscribed to the channel, so if you really want to help us out, remember to hit that subscribe button below. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to finish off the trimming of the walls on these kind of hard to do areas. So I'm setting myself up. I'm making some timber battens on this. It's basically a pillar, and the way I'm doing this, and I'm going to secure my wallboards to this. Essentially, I want as least amount of screws into this as possible, because I know there's a major wiring loom that runs down here, as it's the one that I joined up and it took me 3 days to do. So I really don't want to poke a screw through it. So the way I'm doing it, I'm putting timber battens down so all my wallboards will just screw into these 5mm timber batten. And the way I'm securing the batten to this, so I don't want to screw into the wiring loom either, so I'm using these self-drilling metal screws, and they're 20mm long, which means they're poking through quite a bit. So I'm screwing them in, getting the threads screwed in, and then I'm unscrewing them and chopping all but 3 or 4mm off the end. So then it really only ends up with this tiny little screw. When it screws into the metal, nothing sticks out the other side, and then nothing can rub on the wiring loom. Eventually over time end up cutting anything. Around this corner I kind of put a whole bunch of cuts into the timber to get a bit of a curve. I couldn't get it quite round, it's very sharp. It comes up and down here, and now I'm going to do this side. Okay, so I've made all my pieces, cut them on the table saw, and it wasn't a straight cut, so I've just kind of held it with my fingers and pushed it through. And now what I'm doing is just screwing it onto the timber batten on this side. So they all should line up flush on this side, so then another piece comes down here, and then they'll all line up really nice and neatly. So now what I'm going to do is just do what I've done here on the other side, where I've just cut all these pieces a little bit longer and then put them in temporarily and put a pencil line up the side here so it lines up nice and flush with this piece. I've just used liquid nails on this one to glue it to the metal panel of the van because I didn't put a batten on there, and then I'm using a nail gun and just tacking these pieces onto this side bit just until the glue dries. But that should be well secure enough. Okay, so I've got my last piece now, and this does seem daunting with all these kind of curves and trying to get it all right, but it's actually quite simple. I'll put a link right about here where you can go and see the video I did when I cut my walls out, and there's a very simple technique I use to cut out the curves and get it nice and round. So this slots in here like so. I think I'm just going to liquid nails behind this, and then I'm going to nail gun it all through here and then let it dry for the night. This is quite expensive for our trim for all our windows and frames and everything. So I think I'm actually going to try and make this from scratch with the router and the table saw and save a couple $100. So my thought is I'm going to strip on the table saw some 2x4s or these 70x35s into little angles, and I could probably get about 5 of those little angle pieces out of one of these. Then it's only going to cost me $8, not $70. Okay, so I'm going to try and make the external angles now for the trim, and I've got these 70x35mm timbers, so they only cost, I think it's $8 or something. You'll see me at Bunnings looking at them. And the way I'm planning on doing this is doing it all with the table saw and then just rounding it off with my trim router later. So I've come up with a bit of a cut plan. I'm still not 100% sure this is actually going to work out, but I think just trialing it and giving it a go is going to be much better anyway than buying a whole bunch. I might end up failing, having to go buy them anyway, but at least I'm giving it a go. So the general idea is I'll be able to get 4 pieces out of this one piece, so 1, 2, and then another 2 on this side. So I've just drawn up the first 2 just to see what works. So I'm going to start by chopping this in half right down there, and then I'm going to do a couple of cuts. So I'm going to do 4 cuts, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Let's see if I can save some money and I can make my own stuff. Okay, now I've essentially got the little square, so now I'm going to try cut down this line, so I don't want to cut the whole way through, so I'm just going to measure the distance between here and set my gauge to that depth, and then I'm going to do it from here to here, here to here, and here to here. Hopefully, if all goes well, I'll end up with an angle here, and a square piece here. Okay, so that worked actually really well. This is 5mm thick by 25 high by 25 long. And then what I'm going to do is run my round over bit on my router and just round this edge out, make it nice and round, and probably on this edge too, and on this side edge. Okay, I've got my 4 angle bits now cut, and these are the 2 square bit leftovers that went in the middle. So what I'm going to do now, as you can see, I've got 2 big ones and 2 small ones. I'm just going to run these two through the table saw again, so they all come out exactly the same, and that is amazing. These would have cost me about $60 at $15 a length. Just one of these cost me about $8, so how's the savings on that? Okay, the last thing I got to do now is just round off these edges with the router, and then these things are going to be done and ready for staining and installing in the van. After rounding off a few pieces, I realized it was much easier if I made a little router table out of my portable router by just screwing it to the bottom of a scrap piece of plywood. So I'm actually very pleased with myself. This is the original one I wanted to cut, and then I was left with a square piece, and with the square piece I made another external angle, just a smaller one, and then with the even smaller piece that I made an internal rounded corner. So to make these little internal corners, turning a little square piece into a rounded corner, I'm just using the round over bit on my little router table. So the small external angle here is going to cover this trim on the door, and the internal angle, the little internal angle, will cover the corner here, also that I've done on the door. So that'll be painted white, and that's a good use of resources. So the original thought here was to make some trim and try and make it dark, so it kind of contrasts the white. And so we bought a cedar tint. Probably put too many coats on it, and then we don't really like what colour it is. Doesn't really fit with the rest of the van. Vendy's actually sanding them all down again, and we're just going to paint them white. So all up, I saved over $200 by making my own trim with the small angle, the big angle, and the little internal angle that I would have had to buy from the hardware shop. So I'm covering all these little trim bits up now. So I've just laid down some liquid nails, and I'm going to stick in these little corner angles that we made and paint it up. So they're just going to make that corner look a lot neater where the two pieces of wood join at a 90. And then the angle piece that we made here is going to go along this edge. It's going to look much neater. So liquid nails and then nail gutting in. So what I did was use the big first one for these window trims around the bed, and then for the smaller angle I made the second time round, I put it around this edge here, and then the inner one I've made here. So that goes all around the top edge too, to make that nice transition really smooth, and then down the other side. Alright guys, that is it for this video. I really hope you got some use out of it. If you did, remember to hit that like button below, subscribe, and tell me if you're going to use it or how you think this might help you out. The next video will be coming out very shortly. It's going to be about these doors and how I framed the back barn doors out. So I've made a nice little window frame with a roller blind. It was quite tricky, especially making it open from the inside again. So if you're interested in that, remember to hit subscribe, and I'll see you very shortly.